Hello and welcome to our Retire Early Lifestyle. Let's get right into the information you're waiting for today. Most expats that are moving to Italy in droves don't understand the extent of the mafia and how they operate in Italy. We say, move to Italy if you want. We're just letting you know this is what's happening. Some expats have scoffed at our first warning about this in this video, 3 Good Reasons Not to Move to Italy.
The other reason that makes it the worst place to live is people, you've got to look deep into these things, and there's a real mafia presence there, and it's a serious issue. You've got thuggish people walking around giving you dirty looks, and you got to watch your interactions with people, and there's some really bad things going on there that I don't want to go into detail for you. That isn't necessary. All of Italy is great for visiting and touring, but as far as a place to live, the south would be the best place, but unfortunately it has reasons that makes it the worst place.
In the comments, they called us whiners and said how the mafia are good people because they guard the town they happen to live in from crime, which really what they're doing is keeping the competing mafia gangs from taking over the city. It's their territory now. The American went on to say, the mafias have made it easy to buy drugs that in the USA you would have to have a prescription for. This came out of the mouth of an American expat. I guess he didn't stop to think about what he said, because if he had, he would then know that the mafia is in charge of the importations and dispensing of medications, and they have taken over the healthcare system in major regions of southern Italy. Most Italians are in fear of speaking out against these thugs, but some doctors have said they're unable to go to appointments on time with their sick patients because they're hindered from doing so. They instead stand outside of the hospital waiting for the controllers to come and unlock the doors. So tight was the clan's grip that doctors in Lamezia Terme reported having to wait outside a hospital ward for men from the whatever to open the locked door with their keys. 'Ndrangheta? Many North Americans have this mistaken belief that the mafia is somehow their friend and watching over them as they enjoy their expat life in Italy. Or so they would have you believe. That's because we only want to see what we want to see. Especially if it seems like we're benefiting from something, we tend to not take notice that perhaps something may just not be right with the situation.
And then there's only one guy up here. Only one guy. And he's surrounded. But there he is, holding up his sword. He's surrounded. And look, there's a few dozen more dogs even there. So, by the looks of it, he doesn't stand a chance. Yet there he is with no fear. That's the message, folks.
Like, how can the mafia be in charge of the pharmaceuticals and hospitals industry throughout southern Italy if they aren't in control of it? The band of mafia criminals have been in charge for decades, turning it into a multi-family generational criminal enterprise. The younger generations even have degrees from the London School of Economics and even Harvard, making them more business-minded and seemingly good people. Many people have been fooled. Most Italians know about the mafias that control their city, but they keep it quiet. They live there. Multiple Italian families pool their resources together for joint illegal ventures. We just want to inform people of the extent of their presence and what they are capable of doing. The mafias of Italy are very good at what they do, and they're not easily taken down, and is why they are still running strong throughout Italy centuries later, even in the north. This is just one report. If people would just do a small amount of research, they would find out about how powerful these organized crime gangs operating throughout Italy and globally really are. I think many would rethink their plans. The unfortunate part about it is the most powerful mafia, according to Italian authorities, has wriggled their tentacles into the administrations of whole provinces in southern Italy, such as Calabria. When we were in Italy, we visited the towns and cities they talk about in this article. Beautiful little cities with gorgeous Mediterranean sea backdrops, charming little outdoor cafes and restaurants line the quaint cobblestone streets, and everything seems so wonderful and grand. The streets always smell like freshly brewed coffee, and the food is delicious everywhere you go, and the people are so nice. You're a tourist enjoying everything Italy has to offer. But you never know if or when you will meet up with one of these clans or be manipulated somehow into their world. As we stated earlier, if you mind your own business, you'll probably have a fantastic time during your holiday in Italy or on your 1 to 5 year sojourn in Italy paradise. And that's fine. Look the other way if you want, and we hope it works out for you. But when a whole country is overrun by powerful organized crime syndicates, sooner or later it will catch up to you in one way or another. Unless, of course, you're a homebody, rarely going outside to take care of errands, and when you do, you keep your nose to the ground in the literal sense. However, indirectly, you will be involved just by paying your utility bill. Have you ever wondered why your utility bills are so high in Italy? It doesn't stop there, as we have said previously. It just goes on and on. What if you're moving to Italy and you want to invest in property, perhaps to profit from property buying through the fix and flip market and sell it to other foreigners? Well, look at this. There's a lovely woman from California who runs a Move to Italy channel. She's a realtor. She got into the real estate game over there. I guess someone didn't like her meddling in their affairs, driving up real estate prices, so they set her car on fire. She made a video a week later apologizing for whatever she had done to offend. In this case, knowing what we know is it wasn't about her raising prices so much, but that her real estate business was getting busier and busier with the expats and tourists because they're flocking there now, and they wanted to go to her because she was Americana and spoke their language, and well, it was definitely taking business away from the mafia. She didn't realize what she had done to offend. Offend is an understatement in this situation. It could have turned out worse. At least she's still alive. Or what if you move to Italy and you open a restaurant business or a service business? That means you're going to be buying food from the farmers and wholesale from the grocery stores. But wait, who owns the ranches and the fruit growers? You think they won't find out a foreigner owns a business in their city and you're profiting big time from it? They know everything that is happening in the town, village, or city that they are in control of. Or what if you move to Italy and start an agro farm with chickens and goats and organic food? Several expats are doing that, but are they selling to the public? They'll probably leave you alone if your farm is just for your own household, but the minute you start selling to the public, you might meet your new next-door neighbors. What about the olive oil you just splattered all over your spaghetti? Is it real or has it been tainted by the mafia, just one of their smaller side businesses they own? What if you move to Italy and you happen to become involved with the wrong crowd? Maybe it's you and you're inviting the wrong people into your circle. Several young people have done just that moving to Italy. You know what I'm talking about, and well, they're either not around anymore in this world, or they're spending lifetimes in Italian prisons. Do we need to go on? You get the gist of what we're saying here, right? We're sure if you keep your nose to the ground, everything should be fine, but just remember, if you get ill and have to go to the hospital, or if you need medication, well, what do you think about that? How does that make you feel? I'm sure everything will be fine. Or will it? Why do some expats think the mafias are their friend? It's like how Hollywood glorifies the mafia movies and they think it's cool, and Americans eat those movies up, like The Godfather. Many expats are moving to Puglia, and for good reason. The beauty of the place is outstanding, but there is still a lot to know about the province. Do you think the tourist board is going to tell you that many parts of the province of Puglia have been taken over by mafias? And the vlogger gang and other promoters probably don't even know it is happening. That's how in tune they are with the world they are promoting to you all over the internet. Did you know that local officials in a town in Puglia are now under the control of the mafia? Town by town, city by city, little by little, Italy has been consumed and overtaken by mafia drug gangs and powerful mafia overlords. If any of this rings a bell for you happening in other parts of the world, it should. Okay, so the vlogger gang continues to promote Italy, and the real estate is the best thing since honey and sliced bread. And of course, they don't have a clue to what's really going on in most of Italy. These mafia gangs don't necessarily work undercover, but in the open like charming serial killers. Let us just say, they're not standing on the street corner with guns and masks on or with signs that say, "We're in control of this city, stay out." No, these mafia folks camouflage themselves in society, looking like your basic Italian businessman, often wearing a suit and tie, blending in with the normal business world of the day, so you can't tell who they are or what they happen to be organizing and manipulating on any given day. Perhaps it's the nice-dressed gentleman that glared you up and down while you were complaining about your coffee with the owner of the cafe. Or maybe the trio of men that are sitting across from you in the expensive Italian restaurant that keep glaring over at the tourist table full of loud English speakers. The mafias can be very charming folks until you do them wrong. They have their tentacles in much of the tourism in the country, and they come up with schemes to profit off of the tourist in any way they can. After all, Italy is now in the top 3 most popular countries abroad for tourists, and now American expats are moving there in droves, according to YouTube vloggers. Yep, the mafias have infiltrated the Italian Ministry of Tourism. Italian mafia's cut in tourism sector is over $2.6 billion. Here is some maps of where the mafias mostly occupy in Italy, just in case you want to stay low, although they could be anywhere. Guess that's why expats are oblivious to it. Expats have told us in comments that we were making stuff up about the mafia to keep people from moving to Italy. Can I stop laughing now? Seriously, the mafia is everywhere in Italy and right under our noses. The camel has always had his nose in the affairs of man because that's how they cheat and fiddle and make their money, and now they're profiting off most everything in Italy, even expatism and tourism, and most don't even have a clue.
The Sacra Corona Unita.
La mafia non c'è stata, la mafia c'è, occupa i nostri territori.
The Sacra Corona Unita is made up of about 30 clans with roughly 3,000 members, almost exclusively men.
Il business principale è il traffico degli stupefacenti. Gli stupefacenti rappresentano veramente l'obiettivo principe.
And they recycle the profits through legitimate businesses like tourism.
It's high time Americans that are moving to some of these places get the real information of what is happening where they want to live. Don't you want to know this stuff so you can be better prepared to deal with what might affect you? It really makes one wonder who is really in charge of the €1 home thing across Italy. We'll have to do a deep dive into that one soon if you all want. Back to the naive expat lady that had her car burned for doing what she thought was just the normal thing to do. That was a warning, and she got the message. But is that the kind of environment you really want to be in? It's your choice. Have fun, and until next time, God keep you and watch over you. Take care and bye-bye.